We've seen plenty of different themes that advertisers are asking for in the build-up to the World Cup. We've seen some that want to be part of an everyday conversation around football, around matches that are going on, some that want to live tweet during matches, some that want to use Twitter as an extension of existing campaigns across other media, and a variety of other things. We've also seen, for example, we have a Twitter Amplify campaign with ITV where Paddy Power are sponsoring live clips from ITV that are tweeted out as soon as they're going on. So there's a variety of different themes and ways that advertisers can embrace the platform to really push their message out.
Have you seen anything particularly new in any of the ways that brands have come to Twitter to use the World Cup?
We've seen quite a few different new approaches actually. So whereas beforehand Twitter has often been seen as the live medium where the World Cup really comes alive, it goes back to that point where they've been building up that everyday conversation beforehand, being part of football, really tapping into the fans. So the World Cup didn't begin necessarily on June the 12th. The build-up began far before, and the conversation, whether it be the launch of the official ball, so Adidas would talk about their Brazuca ball, which has over 100,000 followers, or the picking of the team, the launch of the kit for England or other teams. All of these things have created a lot of conversation, and therefore advertisers have got involved there. So that's where they've been planning really to build up to that. They've also been, using more, imagery, video to kind of complement their other campaigns, as I say, and just really taking advantage of our product development and targeting. And they've just been really thoroughly prepared and used Twitter at the core of their messaging, really.
That's interesting. Does that mean that Twitter's really matured as an advertising platform? Do brands really understand how to use it now?
I think Twitter is, I think Twitter is maturing, but advertisers are grasping it and getting it more, really experimenting, seeing what works. We really encourage a test and iterate, way of, trying things out, optimize what works, work closely with our team. We have a whole brand strategy team working with clients to really help put the great content out there at the right time to the right people. And I think it's something that they're seeing really, they can embrace these moments, and it's about that planning in the moment that they're really loving and they're understanding more and more of.
The conversation about real-time advertising just continues and continues. How much have you seen that happen during this tournament then? There must be a lot of brands attempting that right now.
Absolutely. So I think that the World Cup is the biggest event this year, but we've seen throughout this year other examples, whether it be in the Brits, whether it be in the Oscars, of advertisers doing that. But the World Cup really is the culmination. But as I say, the way that they've been doing it has been incredibly strategic. So some are, as I said, tweeting live. Adidas is a perfect example of someone doing that. But Pepperami, on the other hand, have gone down the hashtag Fanimal route. So really playing on their association with the fans, joining in conversations, and a lot of that can be planned. Themes are going to come up. One team's going to win, one team's going to lose, they're going to be penalties, controversy, potentially teams losing on penalties. I won't mention any particular ones that tend to, but they've been able to plan for those moments, so it's timely and it's contextual, and it's really part of that conversation going on.
Final question about the final. Is there anything you can tell us that we can expect to see about the final? Do you know what brands are planning around it? Any insight you can give us?
Well, specifically more about the lead up actually. So we have brands, for example, Visa are using Usain Bolt to have the Bolt's 11. So he considers himself the fastest fan. So he's picking out his 11, his team, throughout the events leading up to the final, and really engaging with fans and bringing them into this initiative. And that's just one thing. There are several others. The likes of Adidas are live tweeting throughout games. We've got, as I mentioned, the Twitter Amplify stuff with Paddy Power. They're doing stuff. So a lot of, and Beats by Dre, another one. Beats by Dre are amplifying that great World Cup video ad that they've got, using their star power, mentioning them within tweets. Now obviously a lot of the stars in their video are progressing throughout this tournament far, so it's a load of different ways of embracing it, and I think that's the really interesting thing. It's not just one thing or another thing, it's the difference from brand to brand and how they're embracing the range of opportunities on the platform.